Having grown a legendary Soweto eaterie and brand from the ground up, entrepreneur Miles Khubheka has invested his 8 years' experience into a food business accelerator, one which guides and advances small and medium-sized foodpreneurs into a sustainable future.
Interestingly, I'm a systems engineer by training, and I had an amazing time flying all over the world, working on amazing tech. And then I saw this advert one day about this character called Vuyo who was selling boerewors rolls on the side of the road. I wondered if it was based on a true story. I wondered if this Vuyo guy actually existed. I Googled, he didn't. I trademarked it, and as they say, the rest was history. And I opened restaurants, and I worked at food markets, and I essentially built a business. And in 2016, 2017, I sold the business, and I semi-retired, and I now founded and started Wakanda, which is a food accelerator. What we do is we find amazing food creatives, so people who are starting their journey in the food space, and essentially help them grow and scale and take them to the next level. We build these amazing dark kitchens, which are essentially restaurants without sit down. But what the cool part about it is that once the entrepreneur is bulletproof, he's got all the important skills, he can just step in with his knives and start working, and he's got his own business on the get-go.
At heart, the dishes offered are everyday soul food heroes, which working people relate to.
What we're doing here today is for the first time switching on the kitchen, which is always an amazing part because all the entrepreneurs are here firing up and trying out the new recipes. And we are in the heart of Sandton. We're bringing Kasi food, what we grew up eating, to the heart of Sandton.
Enter Lehlo Vilakazi.
What I've learned from Miles through this process is to always be consistent. And we found this to be the perfect opportunity to change the South African food landscape one bite at a time.
We're all, at the end of the day, interconnected. And our growth is the next person's growth. And it's sort of like a pay it forward. And they can help the next person, and the next person can help the next person. And because of that, I think it's incredibly important to help people grow and get better and do better at what they do as well.
Miles believes firmly that a rising tide lifts all boats. And to him, the program's impact is clear.
Honestly, this is why we do what we do. Food is the one thing that can bring different people from different races, cultures together. It becomes a community builder. It becomes more than just about food. It's friendships. So that's what inspires me. That's what keeps, I guess, all of us doing what we do.
What continues to drive this business dynamo is his son, who teaches him humility and the need to leave the world a better place than he found it.
So this is Kubheka, my son. He's an amazing avid reader, but more importantly, a budding and future world-changing entrepreneur. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I mean, Soweto's got such a rich history, from politics all the way to some amazing leaders who are now captains of industry. So it's always an exciting place to be in.
On today's tour, 2-hour tour, we're going to be going through the streets of Soweto, getting to touch base with the vibe, the heartbeat of the township, touching on Soweto's rich history. So we get to go through places like the Hector Peterson Memorial and Museum, Vilakazi Street, the only street in the world with 2 Nobel Peace Prize winners, and touching also on the current affairs, what makes Soweto today. And we merge the two on today's tour.
Visiting the Peterson Memorial with his son in Youth Month is a big moment for a father.
If you see all these stones here on your left, look, each one represents the 15,000 children for March, and most of them were your age. So an important part there is that it doesn't matter how old you are, you can change the world's history and future by just taking action. In imparting knowledge to my son, being here on Vilakazi Street is an important one. A lot of people died for this country's liberation, and it's so easy to forget how far we've come. But more importantly, you know, it's up to him to architect the future. So the point is, don't be a passenger, you know, go out, change the world, stand for something, be somebody. It's a lot of pressure, but others did it before you, right? So you owe them that much at least.
So what I appreciate the most about my dad is how he pushes me to be my best. He pushes me to do my maximum, and he pushes me to never give up, which is something that most fathers don't do for their children.
Here, just down the road from Utata Madiba's house, was where Miles ran his restaurant.
I've learned a number of important lessons when starting a business. Number one, start. A lot of people think about it, dream about it, but they don't actually execute. And often they wait for it to be perfect. And the truth is, just start with the minimum viable product. Anything, but just start. We've used a lot of QR codes and pay me type solutions. And of course, the Capitec one works great because most consumers have it. And the cool part is that it just quickly integrates into the bank account. So the money's there instantaneously.
Miles got his business talent from his mother, Miles Khubheka, and he can now teach her some smart banking solutions.
The bank I choose is vital for my personal growth as well as obviously for my business growth. And I like the two to be one in the same because it's easy to interface between the two. So I highly recommend that as a feature in any good banking. So what I need in a bank is convenience and access. And actually that's why I'm helping my mom to do just that. So she can have exactly the same convenience that I sincerely enjoy. The remote onboarding process is important, especially I think a lot of people have family living in different areas and rural areas. So the ability to sign up your mom from wherever she is paramount.
Beatrice always believed in abundance. She understood that returns are not guaranteed, but also that working extra hard never hurt your prospects.
As long as I can remember, my biggest form of guidance has been my mom, generally in my life, but especially in my business. Having watched her work hard and start her own business later in life was entirely inspirational.
Important values to instill in Miles when he was growing up and going into his business was that he must strive for the best. He must ask himself, is this the best I could be? Can I do it any better? Nothing comes just that easily. You work for it, you earn it. And also the one point I used to stress to him was that he must be true to himself and stay grounded all the time because he must never forget where he comes from.
What I'd like to say to my dad for Father's Day is that thank you for everything you've done for me. Thank you for caring. Thank you for watching over me.
The journey that I've embarked in helping others see their vision as well as achieve that has been so rewarding and fulfilling. I'm sincerely enjoying watching other people's dreams come true. Once you start working with other entrepreneurs and watching them with their passion and purpose, you realize that there's more of us out there, and the trick is how do we make even more so that we can push this country forward.
Succeeding and then committing yourself to getting others well on their way to their success. That's a life lived to the fullest. Get more of the Insider Essay online. Follow, connect, engage, and be inspired to live better with the Insider Essay. Watch the show Monday evenings at 6. Repeat Saturday at 1 on S3.